All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to our Yuakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And it's the brother Korah Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And real briefly, I want to go into another lesson, which I get the inspiration from watching the apostles. You know, they live camp from this past weekend. And around, I want to say around the 30-some minute mark. It had to be within a 30 minutes, between 30 and 36 minutes mark. They mentioned the Inquisition, you know, how Esau, you know, as he been ruling. I'm paraphrasing what they was going into, but it sparked my spirit to kind of want to speak on it. But they was going into how, you know, pretty much throughout Esau's time ruling, you know, he made these inquisitions on people, which we'll get that definition here in a few. One known as the Spanish Inquisition, in which I'll read a little information on that. But the apostles' point was that throughout history, Esau tried to force other nations, you know, to get down with their way of life, you know, and they'll put something out there, again, like Christianity, you know, they'll put that out there for you to believe and follow their way. And if not, then it was going to be met by a harsh judgment. You see, by harsh judgment. And it also, and they mentioned the MOTB as well, which I want to get to, but it also made me think about Maccabees, in 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter, because Esau did the same thing, in the Greek Empire. He did the same exact thing in the Greek Empire, which he tried to force not just our people, you know, but all people. It was just that our people, you know, was the ones who rebelled against it, right? But you can say he had another inquisition, you know, sin of forcing people to eat pork. If not, it was a great judgment or death, you know. But what I want to touch on in this lesson, and I'll probably title is this, is that Esau's last inquisition will be the MOTB. You see, because it's the same way. He gonna ask you, give you an opportunity to accept this mark, which is the RFID micro C here. He gonna give you an opportunity to accept this mark. And if not, then it's gonna be met with what? With harsh judgments, man, draconian-like judgments. So this is the last time Esau will even, again, have the authority or even the power to go throughout the earth, you know, and ask people or force people to get down with his way. You see, it's the last time. So matter of fact, let me get this definition real quick, and then I get read a little bit into it, a little history on it. It's just from AI overview, so it shouldn't be that long. But let's get this word Inquisition. So this on the etymologyonline.com. It says Inquisition, late 14th century. It means judicial investigation, right? An act or process of inquiring. It says a searching into, a seeking, a legal examination, a seeking of grounds for accusation, man. Now check it. That's the point. It says a seeking of grounds for accusation. So in other words, it says they question, they examine to see if they go find something to accuse you about. And now again, going back to back then, as we're gonna read a little history real quick on Esau's Inquisition, you know, like the Spanish Inquisition with the Catholic Church, so on and so forth, which they and we'll read a little bit into it, but set a lot of decrees with those PayPal bulls, you know, so on and so forth. And again, just like they did with the Northern Kingdom, they came over here and they forced that on us. And they asked you, look, are you down with this or not? And if you say you didn't, now they have a right to accuse you and judge you, man. But let's read a little bit on that, this AI overview, and we'll get some precepts. This is hold on, I'm still reading. I'm trying to see if okay, we about to read that anyway. I was still on the etymologyonline.com, seeing if it had more definitions, but what it was going into, we about to read this. So this is on AI overview, right? And we're going to get into a few precepts. I ain't got much religious and revelation, but it's an AI overview. It says the Inquisition was a Catholic judicial procedure, later becoming a name for state-organized tribunals aimed at combating heresy, apostasy, blasphemy, and other perceived deviant behaviors using methods like violence and isolation and torture. You see that? So again, Esau, since he have the power, he set a standard on what people could believe and what they can't believe in. Even going way back then, right? If you ain't believe on Jesus and that Catholic doctrine, guess what? It says that they use methods like violence, isolation, and torture. Sound like the MOTB, the same thing gonna happen. They gonna use methods like isolation, right? Being cut off from the cities, from everyday necessities, or torture, or even death. You see? Let's read a little more. It says, here is a more detailed breakdown of the Inquisition. The purpose, the Inquisition in its various forms, medieval, Spanish, and Roman, was Esau was established to identify and punish those deemed heretical or deviated from the Catholic orthodoxy. It says the methods. The tribunals use various methods, including investigation, right? They're going to question you. Are you going to eat this pork? You going to take this MOTB? Do you believe in Jesus? Right? It says the tribunal use various methods, including investigation, trial, and punishment, often involving violence, isolation, and torture to extract confessions and denunciations. So they go see if you go deny it or not. They go see if you go be with it or not. You know? And again, going back to what the apostle said, Esau always inquired. Esau always had an inquisition, you know, to see whether you was going to get down with his way of life or not. And if you didn't, guess what? It was a judgment coming. Well, that's why I wanted to go into the MOTB. Will be the last time this man go question anybody ever again. Right? But it says, right, it goes into the sentences. I'll read this one. It says the medieval Inquisition, this focused on combating heretical movements like the Cathars, Waldensians in Italy and France, with papal legates playing a key role. And I'll just read this one. It says in the Spanish Inquisition, this was aimed to maintain Catholic orthodoxy in the Spanish kingdoms, Esau, particularly targeting those who converted from Judaism or Islam to Catholicism, right? And it goes on. Let me see. And it says the impact was this. There was the reason of it, or the impact of it. The Inquisition's repression of Jews, Muslims, and Protestants is seen as a dark chapter in the religious history, demonstrating the dangers of merging religious and state power. So the point is, them going around with that Inquisition back then was to get you further away from your belief, your way of life, and to follow in theirs. And if you didn't, it was going to be issues. Right? If you didn't, it was going to be issues. It was going to be a judgment that had to be met. You know? But in other words, Esau, he's saying, look, I'm going to give you a chance. Yes or no. But let me get into some precepts. I just want to get this real quick. In Revelation 3. Because he's going to try it again. And this time it's going to be the whole world. This Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Now, what's the hour of temptation? That's when each person in this world be tried or go be caused or forced in other words, which you might not be physically forced, but the condition that your life may be in, that may seem as if the only plausible explanation. You see, it may seem as if that's the only plausible explanation, right? But again, Esau go put this world in a lower state to where everybody gonna need help. So therefore, the help gonna be there. What's gonna be the help? The MOTB. During Jacob's trouble, when life get hard, everybody gonna be tempted to take that, And just like every other Inquisition back then, he gave you a chance. Do you want this or not? And this will be the last one. Do you want to take this or not? And if you don't, we'll get Revelation 15 on what can happen to a man for denying Esau's technology, right? And remember what it said about the past inquisitions from Esau, that it was met with methods of violence, isolation, or even death. What you think will happen if you don't take the MOTB? Right? So real quick again, Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Let's get Revelation 13 real quick. Because the hour of temptation is when everybody get tried or tempted to take that MOTB. And again, what's another one? Just like in Maccabees, I was going to get it before I got this, what I'm reading in Revelation, but it'll probably be a little too long, but just to mention it. I mentioned it earlier, but in 2 Maccabees, the 2nd chapter. Remember, Esau came and he had them 7 brothers and other Israelites as well, but the spotlight was on the 7 brothers and their mother. And Esau inquired to see if they wanted to eat the pork or not. Eat the pork or not, and they denied it. What happened? Each of them was isolated and then tortured and then put to death. See, that's how Esau do things, man. If you don't get down with what he say, which is he ruling, because it's gonna be the same for us. If you ain't gonna get down with what we say in our kingdom, then it's gonna be issues, right? But see, Esau do it on the left hand side. For example, he tried to force you to eat pork when according to the law, that's off. We gonna force people to be right, in the kingdom, But this is the last time that man even gonna have, talking about Esau, gonna have even authority or say so on the earth, to have people agree with him or not. It's like, my words all over the place. I'm a little, mine a little clouded this morning. But let's read this Revelation 13. Now this is the time Esau gonna come down, think he gonna fulfill his new world order, and it's the plan. This is his way to fulfill that, getting RFID micro C-hips in everybody. This is Revelation 13 and verse 15, and it's gonna be the hour of temptation, that last inquisition. You gonna get it or you ain't gonna get it. It says Revelation 13 and 15, and he, talking about Esau Edom by way of his system, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Just like those past inquisitions. If you ain't gonna get down with what we saying, our belief, our way of life, you're gonna have to get tortured. You're gonna have to get isolated. You're gonna have to be put to death. See, the MOTB is the last time Esau coming with that, man. Let's read it again. And he had power. See, he got the power to do these things. He got the power to inquire. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause, that's that hour of temptation, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now let's go into that word killed. Because what it said about the Inquisition back then, if you denied their belief, let's go into that word in the blue letter, killed. It's G615, apokateno, but I'm going to go to the root word. I'm going to go to the root word, which is apo, G575, apo. And it says of separation, of local separation after verbs of motion from a place. In other words, you will be isolated in society. Whether you can go, businesses don't accept, your service, or you just can't do nothing because everything going digital if you don't have that MOTB. You can't get no health care. So that's how Esau, he gonna isolate. He gonna isolate. You see? Let me read a little bit more of it. So it says separation, local separation of apart from the whole. You completely gonna be taken out of society because you didn't get down with his beliefs, his way of life. Or you may just be killed. Matter of fact, let me finish reading this. And I want to get Wisdom of Solomon 2. And then I ended on that, Lord willing, the Lord say the same, because Wisdom of Solomon 2, that's a conversation between the elites speaking. And they was pretty much talking about the prophets, That look, they say they believe in this. They say they're the chosen. Well, look, let's try them. Let's inquire. See, they're going to make another inquisition. Let's make an inquisition to see if they really believe or not. And what they said, and we're going to do about torturing them. So this going to be Esau's last go-around of his conquest of inquisitions in the earth, right? The MOTB. But let's finish reading this. Let's read it all together. Revelation 13 and verse 15 and 16 and 17. It's Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, either physically put to death or cast and isolated out of society. It says that he causeth all, both small and great. See, the Inquisition, he causeth all, which we got earlier, that's the hour of temptation. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You see, now let me get Wisdom of Solomon 2 real quick, just to show you these elites' mindset. That look, this how we gonna do it. If they don't get down, let's torture them then. It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Now, again, when you go into the context of it, it's talking about the wicked having a meeting amongst themselves. And there's some things they said. They said, look, it's been given to us to pretty much rule the world. So let's make sure we do. Let's leave, names of ourselves so people can remember us. Let's get the best wine. Let's oppress the people. And this is what they're going to say about the Israelites. It says, I'm going to start at verse 12. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Right. And that's what we're doing. We're calling these elites out, telling the small hats, you're not the Israelites. It says, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. And which clearly show right here, they talking about the prophets, because the only ones that will go be calling out these elites will be the prophets. So this is how they feel about the prophets. It says, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education, he professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. Check this out. It says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold. And that show right there, the scripture says how this word have went into the gates of the nobles. People heard about this word. And when Esau see us pushing out this word, it have a negative effect on them, man. It mess with their mind, so they don't even like to see it. That's what it say right here. It says, he is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. I'm going to keep reading on. We're going to get to the point. It says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounced the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his father. And that's what we saying. Esau, the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of that follow. So this is how Esau feel about that. And what he going to do? He going to make inquisition to see if we really down for what we believe in or not. And at the same time, guess what else going to be on the table? The MOTB. That's going to be the way to find out. Do you really believe in this God? Yeah, how are you talking about? Or since you scared of getting tortured, you're going to take this sea help. Let's read it. It says, let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hands of his enemies. This is the point I wanted. So let us examine him with despitefulness and torture. What was one of the methods of the Esau past inquisitions to force people to believe? Torture, man. Torture. You see? So some people may have to, be put under a guillotine in order to deny, or because of denying this new digital inquisition. That's might be the digital inquisition. You see, it says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. It says, let us condemn him with a shameful death. See, death, for by his own sins he shall be respected. Right now, I finish it off. It says, and such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. In other words, what they're going to try to do to us is go backfire. But you see, that's what they're going to do. They last inquisition to keep power in the earth. They're going to see who down for the digital world and who not. And the way they're going to do that is by torture tactics, man, or isolation. You see? But I'm going to end it right there, Lord. What this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakodash, and with that, Shalom.